Welcome back to the Phil Files Christian Edition. I'm David, and today we're diving into an intriguing part of the Bible. We're going to look at Genesis chapter 1, verses 14 through 19. It's a fascinating passage that details the fourth day of creation when God made the celestial bodies, the sun, the moon, and the stars. Now, this passage is critical for understanding biblical cosmology. It's not just about the physical act of creation. It also carries a profound theological significance. Now, let's start by exploring some of the background. So, um, it's traditionally thought that Moses penned Genesis, but some modern scholars, really think that it was a combination or a compilation of various sources, and they may be right. Don't know, but it is traditionally um, assumed that it was authored by Moses, just as the Pentateuch, the other books of the Pentateuch. Um, Now, the Hebrew terms here, like lights or me'orot, firmament or rakia, and signs, like the Hebrew word is otot, are key. They indicate that the celestial bodies were made for function, not just form. And so in the ancient Near East, these celestial bodies were often considered deities, but in Genesis, they're simply creations of Yahweh or God, which was a bold statement against the prevailing polytheistic views of the day. Now, this demytholization was a declaration of God's monotheism, or of monotheism and God's sovereignty. Plus, the creation narrative itself is structured poetically. Day 4 mirrors day 1, where light was first created. And so, what this does is it highlights a very structured and purposeful creation. Now, moving on to imagery and symbols, the symbolism here is quite remarkable. The sun, the moon, and stars aren't just physical entities, they embody order and regularity. They separate day from night, and they serve as signs for sacred times, sacred days, and sacred years. It's like a cosmic rhythm, a divine calendar influencing human life and religious practices. And the designation of these bodies as greater and lesser establishes a hierarchy. It's a structured cosmos under divine government. The term signs implies these bodies communicate divine order and purpose. Now, culturally, phenomena were seen as divine messages, but Genesis flips this idea, emphasizing Yahweh's control over creation. Now, this contrasts the beliefs in astral deities, the astral deities of the time. And so let's now shift gears and talk a little bit about theological implications. The passage highlights God's creative power and the order of creation. It asserts one God and God's sovereignty over everything, even time and the natural order. The celestial bodies and marking that time reflects the biblical theme of creation as a harmonious, purposeful act. And then there's the relational aspect as well. These time markers suggest a dynamic relationship between God and humanity, where celestial bodies serve human needs and divine purposes. Now, in today's context, Genesis chapter 1, verses 14 to 19, still influence religious thought and scientific discussion. Some read it very literally. Others see it as a theological insight into God's relationship with creation rather than a scientific account. And I would fall into that realm. It's fascinating how this passage resonates in religious observances as well, like the Sabbath and liturgical calendars. It emphasizes timekeeping and ritual, showing its lasting impact. Plus, the portrayal of an ordered creation underlines our responsibility for environmental stewardship, aligning with modern ecological concerns. We don't have to go extreme one way or the other, but we do have to recognize we're all interconnected, and creation is all interconnected. And so, just kind of sum up, Genesis 1:14-19 offers us a rich exploration of creation, weaving together historical, grammatical, semiotic, and theological elements. Its relevance is evident in religious belief, cultural practices, and ecological ethics. And so this passage challenges us to reflect on divine order and our role in creation, and in our role in caring for creation. And that fosters a deeper understanding of our relationship with the cosmos. We're just not out here floating on a giant ball. We are interconnected. We have a relationship with all of creation. Thanks for joining us today on the Field Files Christian Edition. I hope you learned something, and I hope to hear you see your comments and to have a discussion with you about it. Until next time, keep pondering those big questions and have a great day.